Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we will walk through the syllabus for the Amazon AWS Certified Developer Associate DVA-C02 exam so you know exactly what to study and practice. The exam is organized into 4 domains with clear weightings to guide your study time. Development with AWS Services is 32%, security is 26%, deployment is 24%, and troubleshooting and optimization is 18%. Each domain lists a focus, difficulty level, estimated learning time in hours, and the assessment type you will face on the exam. I will summarize what you must learn in each domain and highlight the most important topics to practice in hands-on labs and scenario questions. Development with AWS Services is weighted at 32%, focuses on building application logic using core AWS services, and is rated medium with an estimated learning time of 40 hours and hands-on plus conceptual assessment. You should be able to design and implement storage and object workflows in Amazon S3, including lifecycle management, versioning and MFA delete, server-side and client-side encryption, static website hosting, S3 select, multi-part uploads and precedent URLs. Learn DynamoDB data modeling with partition and sort keys, designing and using XCs and LSIs, capacity mode optimization, streams for event-driven designs, conditional writes and batch operations, and using DAX for caching. Practice building serverless functions with AWS Lambda, understanding the execution environment, triggers and event source mappings, invocation patterns, concurrency and cold start tuning, layers and environment variables, destinations and DLQs, and VPC networking concerns, and also integrate services using SQS, SNS, Kinesis, API Gateway, step functions and event bridge. Security is weighted at 26%, focuses on authentication, authorization and data protection, and is rated hard with an estimated learning time of 30 hours and scenario-based assessment. Master IAM by creating policies that follow the principle of least privilege, using IAM roles for EC2 and Lambda and for cross-account access, understanding policy evaluation logic and explicit denies, and using SDS for temporary credentials as well as choosing between resource-based and identity-based policies. Learn Amazon Cognito for application authentication and authorization, implementing user pools for sign-in, identity pools for granting AWS resource access, integrating OAuth 2.0 and OIDC, using the hosted UI or custom authentication flows, and managing JWT tokens and session expiration. Study encryption and secrets management including AWS KMS customer managed versus AWS managed keys, envelope encryption and data keys, secrets manager for credential rotation, systems manager parameter store for configurations, TLS for encryption in transit, and signing API requests with signature version 4. Deployment is weighted at 24%, focuses on CI/CD pipelines and infrastructure as code for automated provisioning, and is rated medium with an estimated learning time of 25 hours and hands-on plus conceptual assessment. Learn infrastructure as code with CloudFormation template structure, intrinsic functions and pseudo parameters, using stack sets and change sets, and authoring serverless applications with AWS SAM templates and the SAM CLI for local testing and packaging. Practice building CI/CD pipelines with code commit for version control, code build with buildspec YML for builds, code deploy with AppSpec and deployment hooks, and code pipeline to string together source, build and deploy stages while managing artifacts and integrating third-party providers. Understand deployment strategies such as all at once, rolling and immutable updates, blue-green deployments and canary or linear releases using code deploy, and no platform services like Elastic Beanstalk, App Runner and Amazon ECR for container image management. Troubleshooting and optimization is weighted at 18%, focuses on monitoring application performance, debugging distributed systems and optimizing resource usage, and is rated medium with an estimated learning time of 20 hours and conceptual plus scenario-based assessment. Become proficient with CloudWatch for logs and log group management, standard and high-resolution custom metrics, alarms and notification actions, CloudWatch logs insights for analysis, and CloudTrail for API auditing and governance. Instrument applications with AWS X-Ray using the SDK to generate segments and subsegments. Use annotations and service maps to identify bottlenecks. Apply sampling rules to control cost. And analyze traces to find latency and error root causes. Learn caching and performance techniques with ElastiCache for Redis or Memcached. Caching strategies like lazy loading and write-through. CloudFront for edge delivery. API Gateway caching and throttling limits. And optimizing Lambda cold starts and memory allocation for cost and latency improvements. To prepare, align your study time with the estimated hours per domain. Prioritize hands-on practice for the development and deployment domains, and focus scenario-based security exercises and performance debugging for troubleshooting. Review documentation, build sample projects, and take practice exams to measure readiness. Good luck, and study smart for the AWS Certified Developer Associate DVA-C02 exam.